So we come to the final video of the design patterns is the object pool. So object pool is a creation design patterns. It's the intent to improve your performance for the memory by reusing objects, the same objects over and over again inside your engine. So it can save you a lot of allocating and deallocating objects by the memory. So allocating and deallocating by the memory, it can be costly, and memory fragmentation is a big thing. You don't know behind the scenes what the engine is doing. So object will save you all these things. Object pool design patterns will save you a lot of these things. So it also can stress on the garbage collector. So every time you spawn, called a spawn function, you're already familiar with that in the engine called spawn. When you spawn things, spawn any instance of any class. It's all they all classes in the engine. So when you say okay, spawn something, this mean allocating on the memory, and when you say destroy, it mean deallocating the object, the instance of the object of the class from the memory. So it can be very stressful on the memory itself. So in the intent of that, so it can be less stress on the memory and save you performance. So imagine that pool, but it's not a swimming pool. It will be your pool that hold all the instances that you need over and over again. So imagine that you have a machine gun. Okay, this machine gun, by the way, this will be an instance of a class, and this all these tiny bullets, each bullet is are an instance of a class. So this will be an instance of a class, has a collision, has a velocity, has a mesh, and this will be your machine gun. And each time you are spawning from this machine gun, it's saying okay, allocate, and then when hit something or you want to kill and destroy the bullet, it will be deallocated. So allocating, deallocating, it can be very stressful. So another thing, another example, the Epic guys also provided in the Niagara system is the pool. They also, it's already for you. So release to pool, they using this method override release to pool. It's the Niagara system, and also on the Cascade on the old system. So yeah, also have this pooling method. It's already for you. So when you're spawning thing and you say what type of pooling method you want, when you say none, it will be not released to the pool. When you say auto release, the engine itself will handle the releasing and to the pool itself. When you say manual release, you say okay, I'm responsible for releasing back to the pool itself. So on manual release on complete, it will be released after this function will be called. So imagine all these bullets are flying in your scene on all these particles and over and over and over again. So this is a Returnal video game I recently played. It's very stressful, not by performance, it's by the gameplay. So many bullets and so many particles flickering all around the scene. So it, and also they use the Unreal in-game engine, so they are definitely using the object pool. So every time you see many bullets and many objects flickering in your scene, and it's the same shape, same velocity. The velocity can be vary, but the same shape over and over again, it can be on the object pool. So this is another picture, and I don't know what this game is, but it's also all these intense bullets flying in the scene. It can be an object pool. So this is another one. So I will show you an example, a simple example in the engine itself. I will make a bullet and I will show you the steps. It's an easy example. You can implement it. So don't be afraid. It's so easy to use. So I will go to the engine itself in the third person. So I have a third person template. Okay, this is a third person template. I will make an object pool and make this as he firing from his belly. It's a dummy one, I know, but you will get the idea. So in the content browser, in the blueprints, I will make two blueprint classes. The first one is the bullet itself. So code to blueprint class and make an actor, call it BP, and let's call bullet. This is the first one. Okay, the next one will be the component that will be hold this bullet. So let me go first to the bullet itself. I hate this default scene root, so instead I will make scene. Okay, grab a scene and call it root and drag and drop it over that one. So it will, this one will be disappear. It's not rendable, but I hate it. So this is will be the root. Next thing is make a static mesh, will be your bullet mesh, and this one will be, let me pick a mesh, this will be a semi-cube, and it's, since it's too big, I will make it 0.1. This is a very simple example. It can be your bullet of type static mesh, but I will show you will get the idea from this tutorial. So instead of blocking all dynamics, I will make it overlap all and make sure you are generating overlap events. So the last thing we will add is the component itself. So Epic guys provide this with this projectile movement component. So let's use that. So projectile movement component, this will be your projectile movement component. So set the initial speed to 1000. This is the how much faster your bullet will be, and the max speed to also 1000. And since it's a bullet, no need for gravity scale, so put that to 0. And make sure, this is important, make sure the velocity is 0. So this is all I need. Okay, do I need anything? Yes, the last thing I need an event dispatcher. Event dispatcher, it's there. Okay, event dispatcher. I will make an event dispatcher. I will show you why we will use an event dispatcher to get the object pool itself notified. So on bullet destroyed, so this will be my event dispatcher, and what I will pass the bullet itself, and call BP bullet. I will show you. So I have these things. Okay, now go to the event graph. I don't need any of these. I can go to the bullet mesh itself and right click and component on begin overlap. So I made a simple example, putting this wall in your scene and give them a tag of this wall. So it's attending to show you how the object pool is using. So it can be anything. So on this, the other actor has tag, of wall. If so, call if the tag is wall, do something. What kind of things I will do is deactivating the bullet itself. So I will create two custom events. One is firing the bullet and one is deactivating the bullet, and set the velocity to 0. So create two custom events. The first one is fire bullet, and the another one, custom event, deactive bullet. Okay, let's start with the deactive bullet. It's okay. Grab the projectile movement component, set the velocity to 0. Okay, it will be deactive. The velocity will be 0. And also, sorry, go back, grab the mesh, set collision enabled to no collision. It will turn off the collision. Okay, so it's resetting everything. So it will be the velocity of 0 and no collision. Fire bullet, it will add a velocity. So set velocity based on what? I will pass the velocity later on by the player to add a velocity. So drag this icon to this event, and this will be your input. So velocity, and set, let me copy that, and set collision to query only, no need for physics, so query only. So these two custom events. So when I hit something and the hitting thing is called wall, okay, deactive the bullet. I call deactive the bullet. And after I deactivating the bullet, called what? On bullet destroyed. I will call this. Okay, now I'm calling an event dispatcher on bullet destroy. Who is listening to me? It will be the object pool itself, and I will pass myself self as a reference. Okay, this will be useful later on when deactivating it's calling the velocity, set that velocity to 0 and call this event dispatcher. And the object pool itself, I will show you, is listening and the observing this function call, and will reset the position of the bullet itself. So this is all I need about the bullet itself. So let me go back and create the pool itself. Now I have the bullet. Let me create the object pool. So go to blueprint class. Now the time to create an actor component. So create an actor component, call it BP bullet pool. Okay, this will be your bullet pool. Now I can go to the third person and can add my pool. Pool bullet pool. Now I have this. This can be reusable and attachable to any character, and you can export that also to any character or any actor. So this is the intent of using the component. So I'm using for now I'm using the component design patterns and on object pool design pattern, and also the observer design pattern, which is the event dispatcher. So let me go back to the pool itself. Now the bullet pool has considered like a magazine, considered like it's your magazine, that how many bullets you have. So I need a variable of amount of bullets, how many bullets I want. So it will be an integer. Okay, it will be an integer. Next, I need now I have how many. Now I need the instance of the class, itself. How many instances of the class? So I will make bullet pool. Okay, and this will be type BP underscore bullet, but this time it will be an array. Okay, it will be an array. So now I have these two things. Now in begin play, since I played the game, okay, this component will instantiate what? It will instantiate these bullets. So I call for loop, this one for loop, from index 0 to the amount of bullets. How many bullets? Let me compile. How many bullets? Let's put 30, for example. Okay. Now, after that, I will spawn a bullet. So I spawn actor from a class, and spawn for me BP underscore bullet. Okay. On begin play, this will be spawned how many? 30. Okay, let me split that. And where is the location? Now this is a simple example of a bullet pool. So it can be your position it can be will be basically on your machine gun or a pistol or rifle in the position itself. So I am spawning in the center of the character itself. So I will get owner, the owner, which will be who is owning this component is this character. So getting the owner and get actor location. So I'm getting the actor location and put that in the spawn location. It will be spawned inside there in the center. Okay. Now, next part is get the bullet mesh itself. Mesh. And I'm getting the bullet mesh, I'm disabling the collision. So set collision enabled, no collision. Okay. Now, after that, yes, I instantiate and create all these bullets, and it will be inside this character, but it won't be attached to the character. So I need to attach them to the character. So each time the character is moving, so it will be attached. So I'll call attach actor to actor. Which actor? It will be also get owner. Who is owning this component? Is this one. Okay. And follow the rules, keep the world. Okay. Now, the next part is listening. Now, I told you about the event dispatcher. This will be fired when something I want to deactivate that. So, okay. So I will call on bullet destroyed. Who is listening now? Let me drag that. Okay. On bullet assign on bullet destroyed. This will make me already a custom event. This event I will call return to the pool. Okay, this will make sure this bullet will return to the pool itself. Okay, when this bullet is no longer being active, okay, call event dispatcher. The bullet has been destroyed, and the object pool itself is responsible for resetting the position of the bullet itself. So this one will set actor location, okay, where I will set the actor location from the same time I spawn that. Okay, it will reset that. So when the bullet itself is destroyed and no longer active, it will reset the velocity, make it 0, and also return back to the pool. This is responsible for set actor location, not adding offset. It will reset the bullet itself, this instance, to the location, to the same location as the first time has been instantiated. So the next part is reattach that again. So attach actor to actor. Also, which actor is the owner, and also keep world. So this is resetting the bullet itself to the pool. So as far as I go now, this is a simple example. It can be complex example, but the position itself of the spawn actor, it can be. Now I'm showing you a simple example. I'm instantiating that in the middle. So if I go now and hit play, if I hit Alt S now, let me see, now I have these bullets. So let me grab that and go to the outliner. Now you are seeing how many 31 is actually, because it starts from the index of 0. So all these are bullets, and these bullets are attached. If you see this arrow, it means attached. So if I can collapse that, I can expand that. You see all these bullets are attached. All these bullets are attached to this player. So let me stop and go back to the third person. Now it's time to implement the logic itself of the firing. So now I won't make any action input. So instead, I will use any input type. So I will use anything keyboard, anyone. Let me show you if I use the C keyboard. Okay, when I press the C key on my keyboard, I will do my firing thing. So the first thing is go to the object pool itself. Now it's a component. I can grab that component. Now get me the length of it. Sorry. I must grab the bullets. Get bullets pool. Now, yes, I am getting the bullet pool, but I didn't add anything. It will definitely will be crashed. So I need to go back to the bullet pool and add that. So let me go back to the bullets. Yes, I make this an array back, but I didn't add anything. So I will say get this array and add to this array. So I have, yes, an array of bullet, but I didn't add any bullet. So grab that bullet and add that to the array. So it will be instantiated and also adding to this bullet pool. Okay, now I can go back and from that object pool say, give me the length of that. Okay, if it's greater than 0, if so, if I will do my stuff, I will fire. So this is the line. Get bullet pool, get how many bullets, the length of them. Okay, and if it's more than 0, it's greater than 0, do the firing thing. So now it's time to limit that. So all I need in the player itself is 2 variables. The first variable is bullet index, which will be an integer. The next one is also called max pool. Max pool. It's also an index. So when in the first time when I hit the C on the keyboard, this will be it's by default 0. If I go compile, it's 0. But now I will set that max pool to the length of this array. Okay, it will set this. How many bullets I have? This is an array. Set that to the max pool. Okay, next thing is grabbing an instance of that. So next thing I will get a copy. Get me a copy of this array. Okay, I'm having this pool. This has all the elements, has all the array elements. Now if it's, sorry, let's go back. If the length is more than 0, okay, it's passed. Set the max pool to the length and get me an instance of that pool, which will be a bullet index. This will be your bullet index. Grab and get the bullet index and pass it to the get. So now the bullet index, it will start from 0. It will start from 0. Now I have a bullet index. Give me the bullet itself. So it's, let me check first if it's valid. Is valid. Make sure it won't crash. If there is no reference and there is a bullet, make sure it's valid. So if it's valid, now it's time to fire a bullet. Fire bullet. Now I am the player firing the bullet. At what velocity? I have the bullet, as it's called fire a bullet. Which velocity I have? The velocity I will have is this. Okay, let me get the projectile first. Get projectile movement component. Okay, and get me, since I want to add the velocity in the forward vector of the player, so get actor, sorry, get me the forward vector. Okay, get me the forward vector. Okay, then hit multiply and convert that pin, right click, convert that pin to a float. Okay, now get me the forward vector of this character and then multiply that by who? By the initial speed. Get initial speed. So since I told you the initial speed will be 1000, this will be 1000. Get the actor forward vector and multiply that by the initial speed, and then pass it back to the velocity. So I am now firing that. So the next part is, yes, I'm firing that, but it's still attached to the player itself. So I need to detach that from the actor. Detach it. Okay. And detach it also, keep world. And next thing, I need to increase the bullet index. If I press C, I'm getting a bullet index from this 0. Next time I will press C, this won't be increased. So I need to increase that. Get the bullet index, set bullet index, and bullet index plus plus, increment that bullet index to be this amount. Okay, it will be incremented. So next time the bullet index will be 1, and grabbing the next index from the object pool. So the next part, let me check now if it's equal now. Since I keep pressing C on the keyboard, I'm passing to the limit of the size of the max pool, which will be this one, which is the length of the height of the pool itself. So if it's equal now to the max pool itself, it's don't care about 0, it's the length. On the first one, it will be the length. Okay, if it's now if it's equal to the max pool, then I will reset that and make the bullet index itself back to 0. So set that back to 0. Now this will be 0. So let me repeat this blueprint, this event. So when I press C on the keyboard, give me this component, which is the bullet pool component. All I care about of this array. So give me the array of this bullet pool inside this bullet pool component. Give me the length of that. If it's more than 1, okay, it's valid now. In the first time, set that to the max pool. It will set the length, and get me at certain index, which will be this bullet index. It will be 0. Now check if it's valid. Now it's time to fire the bullet. From that, get that instance and fire the bullet. I will fire the bullet by the forward vector of this character, multiply that by the project movement component of its initial velocity, and then detach that from the actor itself and increase the bullet. So the next time I call bullet index, it will be 1. The next time it will be 2, and so on and so forth. So it will be 1, and set that. And when it comes to the equal to the max pool, which will be this as a length of the pool itself, it will reset back to the bullet index. So let me show you now in the engine how it's going to be played. So if now I go there and press C, now it's firing. Okay, if you can see, watch the outliner. Now let me log something. If I go to the bullet itself, let me this and hit print screen, and call the object name itself. So I know I am overlapping that. So go back. See? Now it's resetting. Just watch the outliner. Okay, let me collapse that if I can. I just want you to watch the player itself. And home. Oh my god. These are the bullets. Okay, just watch them. It's de-attaching and reattaching back. See, the next part is now, okay, I'm hitting something. How about I didn't hit something at all? So I need to make a function, okay, a timer that will reset the bullet itself. Okay, so make the last thing on begin play itself, make a timer. Okay, on begin play, I can hit P on my keyboard and hit on the on the left mouse, it will create this begin play. So on begin play, set timer. By who? By event. Let me set that by event. Okay. Make a custom event. What do I call it? Reset bullet. Okay. So now the bullet is deactive only if it's hit that wall. But I want to reset that after a certain time. I don't need to make the bullet go very far. For example, if I go there, it won't reset. Okay. So all I need to go back to the bullet itself and set timer. Okay, by after 3 seconds and make it looping, and all it's doing is call this event dispatcher and pass myself. Sorry, pass myself. Okay, this will call and make also the projectile movement set velocity back to 0. So this will ensure and make the velocity of the projectile to 0. So after 3 seconds looping, if I didn't hit something by that wall, it will be called this event on bullet destroyed and set the velocity back to 0. And this event, who is listening? The bullet pool itself. It will reset that position back to the actor itself. So now if I go, I can fire any bullets and keep firing. See, I have infinite amount of bullets, which will be 30 bullets. I keep firing these bullets. So firing these bullets. I keep hitting C on my keyboard, and these bullets are, let me hit Alt S and go back and see all these bullets are reattached themselves back again to the character. So this is a simple example of object pool. You can use object pool in many ways. This is a simple example. I show you an example. It's not complicated. If you see a tutorial, some people make it complex, but this is a simple example. All you need is a pool. You can grab something from that pool, and when this no longer useful for you, return that back to the pool. This is the idea itself. It's just a pool. Fill that pool with all your instances of the class, and then when it's useless to you, return that back to the pool. There are many examples out there. I have shown you the simple one, and it's can be effective. So imagine this, it can be anything. So I show you this bullet you can make this bullet the shape itself of the bullet, and the position when I say return to the pool itself, maybe it's not the actor, it's not the owner get actor location, it's another location. It will be maybe a fire pistol location. So this is an example of object pool. It can be so simple, it's very effective and save you a lot of performance. So this is all of the design patterns I speak of. So I will see you effective in the next chapter. We will make the gameplay logic. So see you next.